Alright, so now that we've gone over the Student 6, it's time to talk about the royal side of things. Get what I did there? That's right. We're going on a little trip. Not just Canterlot, but also the Crystal Empire. Yep. So right here I've got Celestia and Luna, as well as Shining Armor and Cadance. So again, I'm going to go in order from least favorite to favorite. So before we talk about Shining Armor and Cadance, we're actually going to go over the two royal sisters, Celestia and Luna. I'll put Shining Armor and Cadance to the side. Okay. So, my least favorite out of the four would have to be Celestia. Now, I know this might sound surprising, but Celestia has always been one of my least favorite characters in the franchise. And if you're wondering why, well, that's a pretty good question. Now, I don't know what it is that makes Celestia weaker than other characters, but my problem with her is that she doesn't really do that much. I feel like she only exists just to be Twilight Sparkle's pupil. No, wait, mentor. Sorry if I got that mixed up. But yeah. I feel like Celestia is an important character because if we didn't have her, we wouldn't have Twilight Sparkle, and I don't think this series would have happened without her. The show actually opens up with a storybook of Celestia and Luna and how they both, became enemies and Celestia banished Luna to the moon. And the whole conflict of the first episode is that Celestia has gone missing and they need to stop Nightmare Moon, which Twilight and her friends do, and Twilight makes a bunch of new friends in the process. I think that's a pretty good pilot episode. Now, I know the first season is always the most basic one, but I still enjoy it. I feel like season 1 is basically ground zero for, what the show will become later. It's only until when, it has more seasons, and maybe one movie or two, that the franchise actually becomes popular and gets better and better. For example, take a look at Thomas the Tank Engine. I think season 1, while yes, it is basic, I do kind of like it, but it only gets better when it gets more seasons. This is the same case with a lot of other shows. However, what sucks is that most shows get canceled after one season, or they just never get one at all, or they might get a season 2, but then it might end after that. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird for, all those facts, but it's still kind of cool to, learn about. Because, when you have a first season, eventually your show might get better and better. That's the case with a lot of shows, but then again, there are shows that people have come to dislike, but that's besides the point. What does this all have to do with Celestia? Well, that's just a fact I'd like to talk about. Again, I feel like Celestia is one of the more generic of the characters. She's still better than Twilight Sparkle, there's no doubt about that, but she still doesn't do all that much. I feel like she only exists just to have dialogue. Now, she does do a couple of things, like facing off Queen Chrysalis and Canterlot Wedding. She has a pretty sad backstory of, how she sent Twilight to Ponyville and stuff. Which, by the way, that is a cute moment. She and Luna both, tried to stop the snowstorm in the Season 6 premiere, etc., etc. Oh, and at one point she was turned to stone by Tempest Shadow, along with Luna and Cadance in the My Little Pony movie. But again, that's besides the point. Anyways, I do love her design. There's no doubts about that. I love that long hair, the long tail at the back, the alicorn wings, especially the gold necklace and gold boot coverings. Yeah. And another fun thing about Celestia is that since she's a white pony, all I have to do is, paint the rest of the stuff and not, the actual white color on her. So that's a plus for me. But yeah, I really don't know what else to add about Celestia. I don't know, what has been said about Celestia that hasn't been already by fans. If you like Celestia, tell me in the comments below, like, why you like her. Again, even though Celestia is one of my least favorite characters, I still love her nonetheless. I mean, she's definitely the weakest princess, as I prefer Luna and Cadance over her, but she's still not that bad of a character. And not to mention, I thought the moment with Daybreaker was pretty shocking and epic. That's why A Royal Problem is my favorite episode to this day. Alright, so now that we talked about Celestia, let's talk about her sister, Luna. Luna already is my favorite out of the two. Not just because she's blue, let's be honest, blue is my favorite color, but there are other reasons why. I've already gone over Luna in my Symbiote Studios Luna video, so I won't spend too much time, but all you need to know is that Luna owns the night. She helps ponies out with their nightmares and saves them from them and protects them and tries to give them better dreams and stuff and gives them very great advice about things. She also has a pretty, sad history, being Nightmare Moon and having all this guilt put onto her and, breaking out into anxiety and, other stuff, like being doubtful to herself and punishing herself in the process. But, yeah, I think Luna has one of the more scarring, stories than other characters. I feel like Luna has, you really do feel her pain and, you understand the struggle she's going through, and I love the development she has. I think it's when Do Princess Dream of Magic Sheep and A Royal Problem came out where Luna overcame her fears. Stopping the Tantibus, helping Celestia, giving her great advice on how to defeat Daybreaker and Nightmare Moon, and I find it funny how Starlight swapped their cutie marks. And they just, try to go through their everyday lives. And the other one's, place. Sorry, that was just, a loud car in the background, but she basically has the same design as Celestia, but her tail's, further extended out rather than curling up on her back. I love that necklace and the crown, everything about Luna, she basically, has the same shade of blue as the night sky, which actually does make sense, even though Celestia has a pretty good color, I do wish they could have done more with her, they basically could have, made her yellow like the sun, at the very least, but I still don't hate the fact that they gave her the white color. But yeah, I think Luna is less basic than Celestia in terms of design and color and personality. So yeah, I feel like that's all I have to add about Luna and Celestia. They're a great duo, don't get me wrong, but I think Luna shines more than Celestia. But if you think otherwise, I respect your opinion. But let me know what you think of Celestia and Luna. Again, these are great models. I love how cute and tiny they are. And yeah, that's all I have to add. Alright, now we get to my two favorites. Shining Armor and Cadance. Let's be honest here. These two are awesome. As a duo, as a husband and wife couple, and, other stuff. But yeah. Now, these two have gone through quite a lot throughout the series. First, there was the Canterlot Wedding, which was a pretty horrific, way to, introduce them. It's not, horror movie levels of scary, but, there's a scary villain named Queen Chrysalis. She captures Cadance, and then she casts a spell on Shining Armor and, tries to feed off of his, love. I think it's kind of, creepy, having a villain in a wedding episode. Let's be honest here. This also, reminds me of The Little Mermaid, if you really think about it, because, Shining Armor would be Prince Eric, Cadance would be Ariel, and Chrysalis would be Ursula. Yeah, I don't know if one day I might make Queen Chrysalis just, show you, but for now, I'm happy with Shining Armor and Cadance. And let's be honest, these two deserve each other. You cannot separate them, even if you tried. Even Queen Chrysalis, if she tried as well. These two are unstoppable together. If it wasn't for these two, Chrysalis would still be running around, feeding off everyone's love and taking over the entire, universe. I feel like the Changelings are some of, smartest and creepiest villains of all. Being able to shapeshift into other ponies, being able to, suck out other people's love, and, I feel like Queen Chrysalis is just a power-hungry villain. Let's be honest here. I feel like she's done like her and Discord both are amazing like antagonists to like introduce in season 2, but yeah, nonetheless, I love these two so much. I mean, this all just led to like false accusations with Twilight thinking Cadence is a villain when she's not. And this just causes her to like be told off by Shining Armor, and like everyone just like walks away from her, and Twilight starts crying because she's all alone, and then but thankfully part 2 does make everything up, because like Twilight Sparkle, after she gets captured, she finds the real Princess Cadence. They work together to escape the mines. And even though Chrysalis like was able to like defeat Cadence, like that still didn't stop Cadence from like breaking Shining Armor out of his little like brainwashed spell, and like these two like banding together and banishing Queen Chrysalis. And then they have the actual wedding, like everyone like starts cheering for them, and I think things do get better from there, because we got the Crystal Empire, which is a much better like episode to introduce Shining Armor and Cadence, in my honest opinion. If you love a Canterlot wedding, I don't blame you. It has a nice premise, although it has a dark edge to it, in my opinion. Anyways, and this is when people like start calling Spike the Brave and Glorious, because he helps Cadence save the Crystal Empire from King Sombra, and then a second time in the Equestria Games. But yeah, there's just like a lot to talk about with Shining Armor and Cadence. Like, I haven't even mentioned the fact that they also had a baby named Flurry Heart, which is super cute. And that just makes the one where Pinkie Pie knows my favorite season 5 episode. It makes the season 6 premiere a great way to start off Starlight's redemption arc and to introduce Flurry Heart. And then after that, I think in season 8 they just faded into the background. They do appear occasionally, but they wouldn't appear again until season 9, where they were captured by King Sombra. And then in the next few episodes, like, you see Cadence again, but like Shining Armor like also like sets up this little like heist game for Twilight Sparkle and her friends, and to like steal a crown from him. And they all come up with funny ways to like do it, and very clever ways, but in the end Spike wins, spoiler alert. And I also love this funny like meme where like Luna's just sitting like in her chair petting this goose, and just like giving this like interesting stare. Like, I don't know, if you don't know that meme, I might show it in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know what else to like add about Shining Armor and Cadence in terms of character, like, but again, they were made for each other. Nothing can ever separate them from each other. And like, I mean, I would get why Queen Chrysalis would want to like do this, but like, again, she has like the scariest like tactics to be a villain. Like, I know that all villains are supposed to be threatening and like have like crazy ways of taking over the world, but I feel like that can make the shows a bit dark. Like, take for example the first Toy Story movie, where Sid tortures like all of his toys and like breaks them apart and changes them. Like, that's horrifying to think about. That's like horror movie levels of scary. Like, let's be honest. I can like really think of like a few other like scary like villains, like Diesel 10 from Thomas and the Magic Railroad, but back to Shining Armor and Cadence. So what I will say is that I think Cadence is my favorite out of the two. Don't get me wrong, I love Shining Armor. I think he has a cool voice, but in terms of characters, I think Cadence wins over him. Because she's basically like, she contains all the love in the world. Like, I'm not in the world, I don't know, but I feel like she is Chrysalis's main target, because she has the power to like give people love. So I feel like that's probably the reason why she wanted to replace Cadence and like cast a spell on Shining Armor. I could be right in saying that, although I'm not like 100% sure, but I do know like Cadence does have the power of love on her side, which makes her like, I guess that would make her a threat to Queen Chrysalis, if I'm guessing. Like, I seem to know like a lot about Shining Armor and Cadence. It's just, the more you dive into this series, the more you know, you know? And not to mention, I think Cadence has a pretty cute voice. Like, I feel like she and Starlight both have adorable voices. Like, it's not even kind of comparable. I feel like Britt McKillop does a great job doing the voice of Cadence. And fun fact, she actually won the award for Best Singing Voice in 2012 when she sung This Day aria. Though I haven't heard the song, I still congratulate her. Again, I love her design. I think she stands out compared to Celestia and Luna, which is probably why she's my favorite. And I can see why Agent Andrews loves Cadence so much, along with Twilight Sparkle. So, Agent Andrews, by any chance, if you are watching this, I really hope that you like how Cadence turned out. Personally, I think she came out nice. And again, I love her design. I love her cute voice. She has a cute design. I'm so happy that she got married to Shining Armor. And it makes sense, because, like, for those of you who don't know, Cadence is Celestia's niece, and Shining Armor is Twilight Sparkle's brother. So, again, these two are perfect for each other. And I'm so happy they were able to, like, be married and have a little child of their own named Flurry Heart. And Cadence was able to get more into Twilight's life because she became Twilight's sister-in-law. Not to mention, they had that cute little chant, and Cadence was actually Twilight's full sitter when they were fillies. Like, there's so much, like, lore to Cadence and Shining Armor, which is why I love them so much. So, comment below, what do you think of these two? Personally, I think they're a great couple with each other. And they're a nice addition to the show. Like, don't get me wrong, Season 1 was pretty good, but again, the show gets better when you add these two. Like, I feel like these two just make the show even better, along with Luna and Celestia, and a couple other characters. So, that was it for the, like, Royal series of this whole set. So let me know what you think of Shining Armor, Cadence, Celestia, and Luna. Who's your favorite out of the four? If I had to choose, I would say Cadence. No questions asked. But anyways, stay tuned for part 3, when I take a look at the Kumar Crusaders and Sakura the Zebra. And until then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.